Welcome back to the channel, my friends. Warhammer Man Studios. I'm Warhammer Man, and today we're taking a look at the faction-focused Chaos Knights. This video is sponsored by CMO Games. More on that later. Warhammer 40,000 faction-focused Chaos Knights. Being a giant, nigh invulnerable walking death machine is undeniably great. But do you find all of that honor stuff, which the Imperial Knights bang on about, to be pious? Wouldn't you rather just smash things? Of course you would. That's why you're here, and the Chaos Knights are ready to provide. Use your strength and status for what really matters, becoming the baddest dude in the galaxy, and the looming giants of your dread household will back you up with awesomely powerful rules. Overview. Chaos Knights are fear made manifest, walking engines of pure destruction that chill the souls of those who gaze upon them. Where the Imperial counterparts are all about courtly manners and noblesse oblige, the dread household prize nothing but the sheer martial dominance, and have many ways to exploit the quaking terror that they inspire in lowly mortals. Faction rules. The sight of a lance of Chaos Knights striding through the fog of war elicits nothing but sheer, unbridled terror, and even the hardiest of heroes in the 41st millennia will feel the aura of disquiet that flows from these mechanical monsters. These harbingers of dread spread disorder and sap the will, with the effect only getting stronger as time goes by. Chaos Knights Army Rule, Harbingers of Dread. If your army faction is Chaos Knights, each model from your army with this ability gains a bonus depending on which dread abilities are active for your army. See below. Once a dread ability is active for your army, that ability applies until the end of the battle. So Battle Round 1. From the first battle round onwards, the Despair ability is active for your army. Despair Aura. While an enemy unit is within 12 of this model, each time an enemy unit takes a Battle Shock test or Leadership test, subtract 1 from the test. Battle Round 3 onwards. From the third battle round onwards, the Doom and Darkness ability is active for your army. Doom and Darkness. Each time a model makes an attack, if the target is Battle Shocked, add 1 to the wound roll. Each time an attack targets this model, if the attacking model's unit is battle shocked, subtract 1 from the hit roll. Many factions have special ways to cause battle shock, but Chaos Knights take further advantage with the bonus to wound battle shocked units and can even avoid return fire from them. When formed into a Traitorous Lance detachment, they can also force battle shock tests on nearby units as soon as they've taken damage, turning a single fallen model into a cascade failure under the fists and chainswords of blasphemous war machines forged in terror. Chaos Knights Traitor Lance Detachment Rule, Forged in Terror Aura. In the battle shock test of your opponent's command phase, if an enemy unit that is below its starting strength is within 12 inches of a Chaos Knight from your army, the enemy unit must make a battle shock test. For the purposes of this ability, if the unit has a starting strength of 1, it is considered to be below starting strength while it has lost 1 or more wounds. Unit Spotlight. Chaos Knights have always taken a freewheeling approach to their equipment selection, with the Knight Despoiler throwing off the shackles of rigid Imperial designations to equip whatever allowed them to slaughter more Chitap. The same is true in the new edition, and the Seething Hatred rules add to the touch of reliability to all weapon types. So we see the Knight Despoiler and Wargear options. Melt-A-Gun can be replaced with a stubber, the Reaper Chainsword can be replaced with a thermal cannon, a Gatling cannon, or a battle cannon. The model's Warp Strike Claw can be replaced with one of the following: thermal cannon, Gatling cannon, or battle cannon. So you can run 2 of the same weapon on him. And then you can also take 1 Havoc Missile Pod, Rocket Pod, or autocannons. And it is 1 Knight Despoiler, equipped with the Melt-A-Gun, the Chainsword, Titanic Feet, and the Claw. And then for his War Scroll, we see Movement 10, Toughness 12, 3+ Save, 22 Wounds, Leadership 6+, OC 10. So I want to say they were 24 wounds before, so I believe it lost 2 wounds. And we see all of the weapon profiles here, quite a few of them. Not going to go through all of the individual stuff. You can take a look if you want, though. There's about 15 of them here. So Core, Deadly Demise D6, Faction Harbingers of Dread, Super Heavy Walker, Dread Dominion Aura. While friendly War Dog is within 9 of this model, each time the War Dog takes a Battle Shock test, add 1 to the test. Seething Hatred. Each time this model is selected to shoot or fight, you can reroll 1 hit roll, or you can reroll 1 wound roll when resolving those attacks. And damage 1 to 7 wounds remaining, subtract 1 from hit rolls, and subtract 5 from its objective secured. So it is half. And then invulnerable save, 5 up. And then it does say specifically that it only has a 5 up invulnerable save against ranged attacks. So not bad. Pretty much seems in line with what you would expect. It's very difficult to judge minor changes to like weapons, equipment, or profile, just because we don't have the full picture yet. But looks very strong. The weapons look very strong. He looks super durable. I do wish Knights got a 5-up save all around, though, not just from shooting. The presence of an important class Knight is enough to spur the various war dogs to cluster around them. These auras are more flexible than the targeted bonuses used by Imperial Knights. but the new bondsman abilities benefit from the armiger target and questress knight using them, while the chaos knight is unaffected by its own aura. The fundamental changes to the dynamics between lord and squire, as the larger chaos knights have little concern over the benefit of war dogs can give them, instead of working in careful concert. Perhaps the most horrifying of all knight suits piloted by fallen nobles is the Knight Abominant, a towering psychic monstrosity that projects a tempest of empiric terror. Its psychic vortex terrors can throw an enemy unit straight into battle shock at the start of the shooting phase, making them vulnerable to harbingers of dread, and tears its prey apart by the psychic squells and scorching volkite energy, then follows up with a barrage of close combat attacks. So we see the Knight Abominant, move 10, toughness 12, 3 up, 22 wounds, leadership 6, OC 10, so I think that was the same. And then we see the Volkite Combustor, devastating wounds, 30-inch range, attacks 9, ballistic skill 3, strength 12, no AP, but 3 damage. So very interesting profile on that. 9 shots, no AP, but strength 12 and 3 damage. So pretty good, definitely like it. And then melee weapons, we have the Bale Mace, extra attack, and the Electro Scourge, sustained hits 1. So the mace has 3 attacks, weapon skill 3, strength 8, -1, 2 damage. And the Electro Scourge is 9 attacks, 3s to hit, strength 10, -2, 3 damage. So pretty good. Deadly Demise D6, Faction, Harbingers of Dread, Super Heavy Walker, Vortex Terror. So this is his psychic power. At the start of your shooting phase, select an enemy unit within 12 of this model. That enemy unit must make a battle shock test. Warp Storm, Psychic. At the end of your movement phase, roll 1d6 for each enemy unit within 9 of this model. On a 3-up, the enemy unit takes a d3 mortal wounds. And then damage 1 to 7, subtract 5 from objective secure, and subtract 1 from its hit rolls. And then invulnerable 5 up against ranged attacks. So pretty good. I like it. It's very, very difficult right now to kind of evaluate the battle shock tests and everything and seeing what it means to be battle shocked. I mean, we can kind of like play with it in our heads, but the truth is the leadership previously was important, but not really. And now it's going to be a substantially more important part of the game. So some of this stuff may seem underwhelming, but in actual practice is very strong. And now a quick message from this week's sponsor. This video is sponsored by cmogames.com, where you can get 15% off most Games Workshop pre-orders, and they go live right at midnight Saturday mornings. cmogames.com offers free shipping on orders over $25 in the US 48, and most orders ship within 24 hours. cmogames.com has been selling Games Workshop products online for more than 20 years, and customer service is their top priority. cmogames.com carries the full line of Games Workshop products, including 40k, Age of Sigmar, Kill Team, warcry, paints, hobbies, and tools. Visit cmogames.com using the affiliate link in the description below so they know you heard about cmogames.com from Warhammer Man Studios. Now, back to the video. So next we have the Weapon Spotlight, where Imperial Knight households show some measure of caution and only mount the strongest laser weaponry to the massive Dominus class knights. Chaos Knights show no such restraint. The raw vehicular punching power of the Desecrator Laser Destructor is enough to turn loyalists green with envy, should any of them survive a potent strength 18 beam of death. So the Desecrator Laser Destructor, range 72, 3 attacks, ballistic skill 2+, strength 18, AP -4, d6 plus 3 damage. So 4 to 9 damage, pretty strong. 3 shots, if they all went through, you could do potential max damage of 27. Like many knights, the Desecrator can also pack a Warp Strike Claw to maximize its damage against newly toughened vehicles. Battle tanks might now be packing a toughness characteristic of 10 or higher, but against a strength 20 fist with 8 damage per hit, they'll still fold like paper. So yeah, Warp Strike Claw is strike, melee, attacks 4, hits on 3s, strength 20, AP -3, 8 damage. And then sweep, attacks 8, so double the attacks, hits on 3s, strength 10, -2, 3 damage. And then we have our Stratagem Spotlight. War dogs are afforded little respect to the traitorous lances, by their bigger masters anyway. To everyone else, they're still piloting a stompy war machine from out of a nightmare. These scout-grade knights nip around the heels of their larger compatriots and hunt for scalps amidst the carnage. Like their namesakes, the Dreadhounds roam the battlefield in packs and gang up on their enemies to drag down larger prey. So Dreadhounds, Traitor Lance, Battle Tactics, Stratagem. When the start of your shooting phase or the start of the fight phase. 1 command point. Target 2 or more War Dog units from your army. 1 enemy unit that is an eligible target for each of those selected War Dog units. Effect. Until the end of the phase, the selected War Dog unit can only target that enemy unit. But all weapons equipped by those War Dog models gain the Sustain Hits 1 ability. In addition, if the enemy unit is battle shocked until the end of the phase, each time a selected War Dog model makes an attack against that enemy unit, An unmodified hit of a 5+ scores a critical hit. So pretty cool. Lets your war dogs kind of team up on targets. There's no limit on the number or variety of war dogs who can focus on a single target, allowing you to get tremendous efficiency out of a single command point. Just make sure not to overestimate your foe, or you'll be left with war dogs standing over wreckage with nothing to do that phase. All right, and then here we see the faction focus roadmap. So very cool. 15 down, 16 up next, Adeptus Custodes. So if you are after those golden boys, excited for the new rules, make sure you tune in for that one. So very cool. So far, it looks like the Knights are going to be really strong. I'm definitely liking what I'm seeing for all the factions. They feel very thematic, and I'm just going to go out on a limb and say that Games Workshop has been balancing this for some time. So I'm assuming there's going to be some stuff that's a little off at first, but I have a feeling this is going to be the best edition of Warhammer 40,000 yet. Special thanks to CMO Games for sponsoring the video. Make sure to check them out for any Games Workshop needs. Save 15%, link in the description. That's it for today. Warhammer Man Studios. I'm Warhammer Man, and I honestly don't even know who I'm most excited to play. But 10th edition is going to be fun, and I'm out of here.